Just 12 minutes of fitness today. All right, we'll give you a 12-minute clock. You're gonna be just completing 100 hang clean and jerks, okay, 50 burpees, and in the remainder of that time, you're gonna be trying to get as many single arm alternating devil's press that you can. All right, it's gonna be a long one here. It'll be the longest 12 minutes perhaps of the week. All right, but make it count, make it worth it. If you don't have any weight, obviously have no fear. We'll show you what you can substitute with here. But let's go ahead and assume, all right, that you do happen to have a dumbbell. It's kind of what we most traditionally use that hang clean and jerk with in the gym. All right, so if you do have that, hopefully you have the familiarity as well. You'll start obviously with your heels just outside your hips, maybe think shoulder width, toes pointed out. Or you're gonna deadlift the dumbbell up, all right? Can also be done with the kettlebell here as well. Now, heels will be shoulder width, toes will be pointed out, belly's tight, arm is relaxed. Think reaching your hips back. You're gonna send your wrist back. You do wanna ensure that that weight stays above the kneecap here. My torso is relatively upright. Swinging the weight back, jump shrug, catching the quarter squat. From here, think jump again, shrug, dropping underneath for that jerk, standing all the way up. You bring that dumbbell back to the shoulder, let it swing, and repeat, all right? Recognize I'm trying not to necessarily curl the weight up, but more specifically, shrug up and pull my shoulder underneath, all right? Bringing my shoulder to the weight, not the other way around. You'll be doing 10 on one arm and then 10 on the other, all right? Changing every 10 reps. Okay, so we're kind of adding a little more here than we traditionally use. You must complete all 10 on one side. Obviously, it never has to be unbroken, but when you put it down, you cannot switch arms until 10 have been done on that single arm, all right? 10 on the right, 10 on the left, equaling 100. Now, again, as mentioned, if you have a kettlebell, and you feel comfortable doing that with the kettlebell, great. Otherwise, you can substitute just a kettlebell swing. Ideally, we're going overhead today. If you can't afford that, as far as range of motion or weight is concerned, then eye level will be just as good. Now, let's say you don't have a dumbbell, you don't have a kettlebell, but you have a plate, all right? Or you have a backpack. You'll be doing ground to overhead, all right? Basically a snatch here, for lack of a better description. Heels again, maybe even a little wider now than shoulder width, reaching my butt back, having that front head of the plate touch the ground. From here, think drive the floor away, squeeze, shrug, and punch overhead to that full extension. Elbows tuck into the ribs, hips back, squeeze, shrug, and punch, okay? Plain and simple. Same thing can be done with a backpack if you have it. If you can, try and complete that hang, or in this case, it would be a regular clean and jerk. Try not to get whipped in the face with the straps. If that feels awkward or uncomfortable for you, all right, you can just go straight to overhead, all right, depending on the weight, how clunky it is, etc. Now, if you don't happen to have any version of a weight here, not a problem. You're gonna be essentially doing, instead of 100 repetitions, you're gonna be doing 10 rounds of 10 mountain climbers, okay? Kind of like that spider lunge version mountain climber where the foot's on the outside, and 5 push-ups. So again, to remind ourselves, for that mountain climber, that right foot will swing out, heel connects with the ground, shifting, same thing on the other side. All right, having my feet outside my hands. From here, all right, each step counts as a rep. So right would be 1, 2, 3, counting all the way up to 10. Then you'll perform 5 push-ups. I'm not gonna do all 5 there. All right, don't wanna be too pumped busting out of this t-shirt just yet. We'll save that for after, all right? But you'll do 10-5 for 10 rounds. After that, okay, implying either my 100 hang clean and jerks or that modified version, you're gonna do 50 burpees. All right, everyone's favorite here. Nice, slow, steady pace. Slouch to the floor, kick back, control your descent there, peel yourself up, snap, jump, clap. Easy. Maybe easier said than done, but easy nonetheless, okay? Nice, steady pace there. 12 minutes is plenty of time, all right? You probably have too much time to finally now complete as many single arm alternating devil's press as you can in the remainder of that time. So if you did stick with that dumbbell, all right, then what you're gonna be doing, all right, having it on one side or the other, goes back essentially to that burpee, except now I'm gripping that handle as I kick back, then peel, snap your feet. It's gonna be that deadlift, swing, and now it's essentially like a snatch, almost a kettlebell swing overhead. Bring that dumbbell to the shoulder. If you'd like to switch mid-arms, you can. It's now on the left side. Peel, snap, deadlift, swing, punch, overhead. Plain and simple, all right? If you have a plate, or again, you have a backpack, you can do the same idea here. Now that plate will be on the ground. will be kind of similar, obviously, to what we just did on that first round, but so be it. Fitness is fitness. Kick back. Chest will just hit the plate. Peel, snap, get your fingers underneath, deadlift, swing, shrug and punch, and you come right back down, deadlift, and repeat. Obviously, again, same thing can be done with the backpack as needed, and so on and so on. If you happen to have a kettlebell in this case, all right, you want to just do essentially alternating kettlebell snatches, you can. If you don't have that, then perhaps when you already did swings for that first portion, okay, then what you can do instead here will just be the no weight option, which is going to be what we call a reverse burpee. They're pretty awkward. They're more challenging at first than you'd think they'd be, okay? And we're going to try and break it down for you. You're going to start standing, all right? You basically are going to squat all the way down, and then from here, I'm going to roll back, have my feet come over my head, and then jump. Now, in that example, which is probably going to happen to you a few times, you kind of jump backwards. It's going to indicate that you very much are throwing your shoulders over your toes on the way down. So again, squat, roll, think, pull yourself, getting into that position. I still didn't do a great example there. All right, obviously I need to practice those. If you haven't done them and you want to use those instead of the weight option, give it a try. They're pretty atrocious, quite abdominal, dominant here. It's kind of throwing yourself up, all right? Maybe it's just a slant here on my pavement. Let's try it again. But essentially, well, what am I doing? Essentially, the rep starts standing, you squat down, you come all the way down, think, throw yourself essentially to that position, there we go, and then jump, and that's your move. If you want to touch overhead, you can. You don't have to. Give yourself a high five, all right? Elbow tap, whatever you need to in your house, to act like you're in the locker room getting fired up, everyone's dapping each other. Fitness is fitness, ladies and gentlemen. Shake a hand, wave a hand. Most importantly, give yourself a thumbs up, double tap your hearts. We'll see you soon. Get after it.